Hi everyone. A few weeks ago I did a like a Jiffy Cat thing where I showed this picture and another picture where I showed using the highlight and details, the highlight recovery, the claw thing, which I've described in various ways. And in fact, this seems to be like my third video of it in recent times, and I think it's really because this turned out to be one of the really shining star functions of Sagelight. It's really quite capable. And here is another aspect of it, and that is basically taking the highlights out of faces. And so you can see that this picture looks fine, and I'm sure to some people it looks just great. But to me, I look at it and say, I want to really deepen the tone on the skin. And what you can do is let me come back into this and it'll show the defaults. And it'll come in with certain defaults on that. Again, the function is this one right here, the highlight recovery. And it'll come with certain defaults. And so just take the details out. And then what you can do is you can work with the highlights. And so obvious if I go too far, that doesn't look very good. And then if I go just a little bit, that looks nice, but it is losing a little bit of contrast. What I can do is I can add some details back. I can just really play with it to get what I want. And then you've got this curve here that I would just leave that at the default. So if I just reset it and just leave that where it was, I can just bring this out and play with the details, see what kind of contrast I want. And so you can see that it's pretty quick. And the before and after looks pretty good, where it's really bringing out some. Actually, I think I'd like to bring the details back a little bit, where it's really taking out a lot of the highlights, and then you can stylize it to whatever you want with less highlights or more depending on what you want. And so the main idea is just to show how it works with skin tones, how it can really subtly bring down those highlights on skin tones. And so let me show you one more. There's another one. It's the same one I showed in the Jiffy Cat ones, where I'm doing pretty much the same thing. It's just another nice example where it comes in and it kind of brings it down. But what I really want to do is I want to bring down the details a bit and then play with the highlights in the same way. You can see where it really just brings down the skin tones really nicely, and then the details, and then you can play with the details, and then you can also play with the blend curve. But I would just, for skin tones, it's really set in just the right place. And so this is almost as quick as doing the Jiffy Cat things that I did, and that's one of the reasons I did it, is because it's just a really quick function. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to explore it a little bit more, so you could see that. You can see I'm actually adding if I add more details, I'm really adding a lot of details in the background, and it's still keeping the skin tone pretty nice. And so this does really turn out to be a pretty powerful function. And I think it's kind of messing up this area there, but you can always back off on that with the undo brush, or just do fewer details. And so this does really turn out to be a pretty powerful function, and it's pretty easy to use. In fact, I'm really struggling to fill time in this video to show how it works. And so that's basically it right there. And I just wanted to show that more in a video format to kind of give more context to changing it. And in fact, if I wanted to edit this one a little bit to say, okay, I think by the collarbone, maybe I want to undo it a little bit, I can just go in and I can just kind of, what I can do is I can go in there and then just with a little pressure, just bring it back just a touch, just to say, okay, I want to remove a little bit of it. But then the original image is still pretty bright, as you can see. And so that's another way that you can modify it by getting most of what you want and then backing off a little bit with the undo brush. Anyway, so that's basically the whole video. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll come out with some more videos soon.